Planters in front of the seed barn. You know what that means. We're back to planting again. So today, we got a good window of no rain, and we haven't had rain for a day or two now. So, we do think it is a good day to go out and finish our soybeans. We've got 60 odd acres, some odd acres. 55 of which are getting planted. The other remainder are getting drilled, and the remaining getting drilled is a really wet field that, even if we keep getting rain, could possibly become prevent plant. So I'm gonna go out and do this planted field. And there's also a golden harvest test plot that our rep is coming out to help us with, as well as a an intercrop plot. So once we get done with the test plot, we're going to take our left 5 rows, or our left 6 rows, and turn them over to corn, and then shut off our 7th row, and then have the right 5 rows be beans. And I am going to plant like that until I run out 4 acres worth of corn, and then that is going to be our intercrop test. And then after that, it's just back to all beans for the rest of the field. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm really excited about the intercrop part, because that is something I've wanted to try for a while. We got a nice flat square big field that we can try it in, so that's what we're going to do. Get this loaded up. I don't know if I told you guys, because I don't know if I tallied it, but we got 70 acres done last video between Dad and the drill. Today we are planting 2 varieties. We're planting an M&W 27E42 Enlist. So that is here. That's untreated, because this is that last minute seed I had to pick up. It's really hard to crack treated seed later in the planting window, but it's just what we got, and it's not going to be a big deal. We're going into tilled corn stubble, so we shouldn't have a need for treatment, but it's always there as insurance, usually. But then we're planting also a Dairyland 2562. So we're putting a 2.7 and a 2.5 in the same field, as well as the test plot, which ranges from, I think, a 1.9 to a 3.2. So that'll be good. The test plot seed's all up there. And then, yeah. And then the intercrop plot, we are doing a 108-day corn. It's golden harvest. I don't remember the number right offhand, and I don't see a sticker just sticking where I can read it. Nope. We have a lot of different corn. Oh, right there. 08R52 is what we're planting, golden harvest, in the intercrop. Which, now that I think about it, means I do gotta go through that pallet and dig them out. So we got, I think I did 11 acres so far. We planted pretty much right up to where the back of the planter is there. Straight down. Headlands are done on that side up to about 3/4 of the way. And then headlands are all done on this side. And so now I'm going to mark out where the plot's going, right in here. I got it far enough away from the trees. Part of it won't get shaded out. Just trying to take all the variables out of reasons why one variety could do way better than the other ones. So I'm going to go and mark this out. We're going 500 feet long. And then there's 6 hybrids, and I believe, or varieties, and I believe we're doing 6 rows of each. I gotta check. Yeah, we're doing 6 rows of each. And so we're gonna be making 3 planter passes, so it's gonna be 500 feet long, 90 feet wide. I got flags to flag it, because what I want to do is, once I get it flagged, I'm gonna go down and do the rest of the rows until the end of the plot, and then after that I can be ready for the intercrop plot to go along that far side of the test plot. So, because when he's here, he's bringing one of those cordless Milwaukee vacuums to clean meters out, and then while he's still here, since we got to switch over to corn, he's going to use his vacuum out the soybeans, and then when we're done with that, vacuum all the corn out and switch back to beans. This is another one of the X-organic fields, and also we drilled rye in this half 20 acres, and I've dissed it twice this spring, and the rye is still coming back, so we'll probably end up going over this with Roundup and Liberty by the end of the week, just to knock all this stuff flat on its face and give the beans a no competition head start. And then because we also have some patches of thistle over on that side of the field, and yeah, but this 55 acres here. So anyway, we'll get right to it. We're gonna come up to the edge of the headland. I gotta reset my wheel, and I guess we'll just use this row cleaner mark as a starting point. So we'll pop the flag. This is my first time doing a seed plot of any kind. Our rep approached me last fall when we were scouting other plots in the area, and I was like, well, why not? We knew we were going into that gray area because we'd already been informed that soybean variety was being discontinued. So we kind of wanted to have an experiment anyway to see what variety we want to take on as our next main one. So it's just all falling into place, I guess. So we'll see what next year brings. We might do corn and beans next year, make it a little more interesting. All right, we're at 100 feet. This is our row cleaner mark. I really like these row cleaners. I think they really help with ride quality as well as obviously clean rows, but I really like them because our tillage practices are not the best where we do use tillage. So it will really help us in the long run to have a better stand, I think. And it may look like it plowed a lot of dirt out of the way, but the only thing on the sides of these rows are clods and trash or root balls. So it is not moving a lot of dirt. It is, if any, other than the clods, obviously. All right, well, typical me fashion, I ended up leaving my camera in the truck. Whoops. Golden harvest plot's done, intercrop plot's done. I'm coming back with my new seed to fill up. We are matching what's left in the 5 rows that we're planting beans for the intercrop and planting those out with M&Ws. And then we're going to switch over to the Dairyland 2.5s, get a good check strip of them out here, use them up, and then we'll switch back to M&W again. See if I don't get stuck. There's a real slimy spot right there. Alright, so I don't know if you can see these blue flags all over the place. Them are the different varieties of golden harvest. I believe there's 6 different varieties we're testing. So that is them in the strips, 400 foot long out to there. So now we are moving over. We got kind of the conglomeration of seed that was left when we were done on these 5. So what we did in the intercrop was I planted beans in these 5. Row 7 was just running empty. It was a dud row. And then rows 1 through 6 here, we're all planting corn. And we were planting at 38,000 population with 108-day golden harvest. And then over there we were still planting 120,000 with just a conglomeration of soybean seed. We're all loaded. I do have to lift up and change my depth back. I had to adjust all those rows a full step for the corn, so I'll adjust them a full step back the other way now. Yeah, you can see it's a little slimy right here. This is usually a wet hole, so I'm not too concerned about it. But the rest of the field's pretty decent.
if I had electric meters and I was doing that intercrop plot, what I would have done is I would have set my outer rows at like 45,000. So row number 1. And then I would have went, well no, it wouldn't have been row number 1, it would have been row number 6. And then I would have just gradually dropped it down 3,000 or 4,000 a row until I got to row number 1. Row number 1 would end up being like 28,000, 27,000. But because I don't have electric meters, I want to take advantage of that extra sunlight on the outside for the outside rows, so that's why we favored kind of 38,000 right there, to good enough average to keep it thinner on the inside, but also to make sure there's enough, because more sunlight equals more yield, but in order to have more yield, you got to have more stalks there taking up that sunlight. Also, I keep meaning to remember to say the date in every video. Today is May 13th, so yeah. Kind of starting to get into that territory where we want to be doing corn, so it's a good thing we're on our last field of beans. So we're at 25 acres. I'm going to check the seed level, but I should be able to make another round with what I got. This is another field where that road cleaner is really shining. I put it up for the test plot because I didn't want that causing variation in yield results. So the test plot was all done. The seed plot was all done with the road cleaner up, but I put it back down for the intercrop. So let's see, we got 34 acres of soybeans left for 2024. Dad is headed out to plant the other 13 with the drill, and should be finishing up right around the same time, I would think. Alrighty, well, I don't know if I can make it. Probably could, but I'm just gonna dump dairyland in because I don't feel like getting stranded on the other end. So what we'll do is we'll go down and back again, and then change the variety in the monitor, and then we should be all set. I've only got 10 bags, so we'll just figure it out. Well, that's one of the fields I sprayed in the last video. That's our generic glufosinate, or generic Liberty, if you want to call it that. They did a good job. It's the first time for me seeing it. Everything's yellow or brown, and it should completely die off the rest of the way. Can roll the beans really well now. It's looking good. That's first field planted. We are about 20 days past that point now. So, yep, about almost 3 weeks since we planted that. Looks good. Looks really good. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a few rocks in this area. Yeah. Most of them are about the size of a basketball. So that means they get caught in the planter quite easily. So just go slow, let the row units ride. The row cleaner does a pretty good job of pushing them out of the way. As long as they're not going head on, they can kind of flick them over to the side. But luckily it's just a small section of this field. Once we get like up in there, the rocks go away and we can bump up a couple gears. Alright, so we are over here. We just finished this little thumb here. There's a little bit of a strip here to do yet. And there's one pass right there to do. And then we are done with this field. About a half an acre. So, after that, Dad's down drilling the other field, so when I'm done here, that's all for 2024. That's all the soybeans this planter's going to plant. Unless we end up needing replant, which I really hope not, but shouldn't. I don't know why we'd have to replant at this point, but, you know, anything can happen. Alright, we are done with beans 2024. That is that whole field complete. I'm gonna check to see how much seed we got left. Not too much. Dad needs some he's gonna rob off of this. So when we get to the farm, we gotta clean out, change over to corn, fix fertilizer system because I broke that during beans, got it all ripped off with the corn stubble. So I gotta fix that, make sure it works, test it, reset the depth, all that fun stuff. But right now I want to show you guys these no-till beans. We'll come out here. Headlands look good. They have a just about got a full trifoliate now. So what is that, V1, I think? I don't remember my soybean growth stages. We'll come out here, and they look good. Headlands are a little sparse through here. We kind of load trucks off of this lane, and since our big tractor was down, and none of the ripping got done, so it's pretty good for what we were dealt with here, I think. So yeah, we'll be all right. Alrighty, I'm gonna pack up, head to the farm, get a ride back to my truck, and then we'll start converting this thing over to corn. Alright, so I just got my parts picked up from the deer drop-off location, and now I'm working on replacing the stuff that broke. So our original kind of manifold deal here did not work. It got caught with corn stubble and got ripped apart. Broke the T, the factory T for the planter that has the factory valve on it. So I had to go buy a new T, new valve, and we're putting that stuff on now. So I got gaskets, and this T basically goes on right here with 2 gaskets, and then these collars come up and screw onto the T's. So I'm getting those put on, and then we can start rebuilding our whole fertilizer setup here. And then we'll have to rinse and repeat on the other side with it, minus the whole T and valve up here. Alright, there's the new valve and elbow on. Or not elbow, T. I don't know if you can see this in my working area. Holy smokes, there's a lot of stuff. So anyway, what we are going to do, we have this piece which reduces from 1.25 inch, which for some reason is John Deere's preferred size for plumbing, down to 1 inch. And then we have, around here somewhere, we have elbows, 1 inch elbow. We're going to put one of them on, and then the 1 inch elbow will go, well, basically it's going to be this setup after the elbow. So it's going to be in here like that, and then this hose right there is going to hook up to it, and then we have to cut this hose and put in this T. So that T is going to go like right there. There's not a whole lot of space for all that, but we're going to try and make her work. The T is going to go in probably straight down like so, and then this pressure relief hose is going to hook up to the T. And just like that, the whole system is going to be brand new again, but usable and not breakable. Alright, here's our new setup there, nice and clean. And the most important thing is it does not stick out under the frame. Got a little bit of hose showing there, but I think that'll be okay. It's tight up to the frame, so I think it won't pull apart or nothing. We may put a strap on this going up to here, but I think it'll be alright where it's at. So this side's done. I'm going to take my bag, move over to that side. That side won't take as long because I don't have to finagle with that valve or nothing like that. So we're chugging along here. I also got to fix the door handle because I keep getting locked out of the tractor. That the outside latch for some reason is not opening the door every time, and now it's getting to where, well, I sat there and tried it for a while and couldn't get in. So we'll see how that turns out, because that could end up being pretty interesting if I can't get in the tractor to go plant corn. And here we go, we got number 2 done. And let me tell you what, that took so long, and my knees are killing me from sitting on this gravel. But we got a few more things we gotta check off the list yet. We're gonna start with switching the meters over now. We'll get all the meters done, all put back on, and then After that, I gotta put this cam lock on. I'll probably do that actually first so that I don't forget, since it's part of the fertilizer deal. After that's on, this fertilizer system should be ready. And then we'll get the boxes done. And then after that, I gotta go put water in the tender, put a cam lock on the tender as well, and then we will pull this up into the driveway. Well, I gotta do the door handle on the tractor too. Pull this up in the driveway, put some water in it, test fire both of the pumps. I don't even know if these wireless things work yet, so that's kind of my most nervous part. And then I need to look up the charts for these Wilger orifices, and that'll tell me what pressure I need to run, and I'll get all those calculations done and figured out. And then after that, we should be ready to put 28 in, pull it over, put seed in. We're going to start with the 108-day golden harvest that's going down the road here, and then we should be ready to start planting right away in the morning. I mean, or we could go down and do it in the dark, but I don't really favor that. There's one other thing too. I just remembered we lost a drag hose on the 2x2, so we need to make another one and put that on. Just got all the meters changed over to corn. I do gotta change population. For the intercrop, I had to go up a gear, and that planted 38,000, so I'm guessing I'm either gonna have to stay on this one or drop one. I think we're shooting for 36 for the first field of 108 day, and then after that I have no idea. I just need one drag hose, and I need to fix the door on the 4960. Hopefully I can get it open still, but yeah, I just got to fix that. And then this rig should be ready to go. When I lift up and pull ahead, I'll go through and change all my depth. We were going in tilled ground, and I had to just bump everything down a full set to go 2 inches. So I'm guessing I got to go a set and a half, because the first fields are all no-till, so we'll see. But I'm pretty sure I'll have to go a set and a half to get to 2 inches. Dad just pulled in with the grain drill, so that means soybean planting 2024 has officially wrapped up. Now I got this door handle figured out. I think this bolts, or this nut's just been slowly loosening up over time. This is the linkage that runs the latch, and this is the outdoor button. And so it just needed to be tightened up, and so now we got it. If I can get it to latch up, then I hit the button. All good. And then the inside one didn't have any problems. That one's direct, so it bypassed all that baloney. The only thing that still sucks about this tractor is the door does open hard. What I mean by that is you can't just push the button with your thumb. You gotta hit it with your hand. That's because I put new door seals on it, and I don't know, the door seals don't seem to be the greatest of work John Deere engineers have ever done, because I mean, they don't seem to seal up great. I had to do all of this with like just cut out one-sided sticky foam, and I went up that side because this doesn't go on where it's supposed to, and I don't know if I just didn't put it on right or what I did, but it just doesn't go on quite right. And so the door seals up kind of hard, but it does seal. And I have found out after washing it that we need to get this plastic piece, because apparently that's what seals this lower window, because I was power washing and I could see all the water running the inside of the window. So I'll have to get that, get some silicone that up, and then also get that plastic piece that goes along there. Good morning, guys. I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown on what we figured out last night. We worked on this planter till about 9:45, and then as far as we know, this is what we got to do. So this side worked. You can still see the remnants of the water on the ground from running it last night. But this side, for some reason, there's something bad in the wireless controller. So we are going to cut that
and cut that and just splice them together. But we can't do that yet because I'm going to put a switch in the cab. Now this is the harness that is the ag leader harness that just deadheaded in the cab, and we put a new power harness in the cab to run that. So it should be as simple as splicing off the black wire and putting a switch in on the black wire. It's right behind the seat in the cab. It won't be hard at all. And if this works decent, I will probably end up ordering like a fancy little switch box to put in the tractor to stay in the tractor. And then we will also do the same thing to the other side, I think. I don't know. I really like the concept of having the wireless dongles to where I can get out and test them and see my pattern and everything, but at the end of the day, if it's not going to work right and not be reliable, it's not worth having it. So as far as we know, that's the only thing wrong with it. And so once I get that going, we can test that side, and then hopefully then after that we can plant corn today. But I do have to come in the shop and see if we have a switch or if I have to go buy one. If I have to go buy one, that means I gotta wait an hour before I can do a whole lot, because that's when the parts store opens, is at 8. But I've got this. This could probably get me through the day if I wanted it to. And then I can order something. Got all these weird little switches that we got from somewhere, and they're all like specialty, so I don't think any of them will work, but pretty sure this will work. Alright, with everything I just did, the planter should be ready. I'm going to show you guys the wireless side in action. We're going to step up here in front to where you can see my green indicator light. I'm going to press and hold. Okay. Might not have enough juice with the tractor not running. Just a sec. Now we're gonna hit the button. Everything turned on, pumps running. Walk around the back. We've got fertilizer. So we're gonna try and spread them all about like that one. See, that one's running on the row there, so that's not gonna work. So we want them running out as much as possible, so like that probably. That one looks good. That one looks good, and it looks like a good 50-50 stream on both sides, which is good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and adjust my pressure. I believe we're gonna run 11 pounds. Alright, at this point I'm just guessing, but I think that's gonna be around the spot we're gonna want the needle. I'll probably end up getting some smaller pressure gauges if we're only going to end up running 11 to 20 psi, so that I can really fine tune it. But for today, those will probably work. After that first hash mark there, these are all 5, but there's not enough there to be 5, so I don't understand. Really, I don't. So we're gonna have to do a rate check, I guess, on the first field. See how close we are. Those 50-50 things don't work quite as well at that low a PSI, do they? That's just gonna have to be how it is, I guess. Alright, the planter is now 100% ready, I think. I'm gonna call Dad and see if he can find some pressure gauges that go down to a different maximum, because that's just completely unnecessary having those on there. But other than that, I'll order one of those switch boxes
Chances are we'll be done with corn by the time it gets here, but it'll be here and I can wire it up for next year. We just gotta go through and adjust our depth. We're gonna go 1.5 steps deeper. So we're gonna be no-tilling, so that's why. The reason why that one's a different adjustment is because I found it was going deeper than the rest of the rows in the last field. So I gotta watch that, but it always feels like you're planting extremely deep, planting corn after beans. Now I gotta pull that truck around to the shop and do an oil change real quick. It's kind of a rush job, so I can knock it out pretty quick this morning and we'll be back on our way to planting corn. We are moving. I can't get my population to be where I want it. I can either plant 33, 34,000 or 42, 43,000. I don't understand how one gear makes that big of a difference, but that's what I got. I had to put air in my tires because of the fertilizer being on board. It really made them squat, and that threw my population all off. So yesterday I was able to do 37 just fine, but that was before I put fertilizer on. So that's all working, I think. We got our pressure set. We're running 15 psi, and I'm locked in at 3.5 mile an hour. So we're getting some acres done. Right now we're sitting at 12 acres an hour, but we were sitting, doing quite a bit of digging and checking and stuff like that. So you really got to tune in and make sure your planter's doing a good job on corn. Otherwise, you are in trouble. Corn requires good seed to soil contact and all that, and beans you can kind of just throw on the surface, call it good. Now I gotta get used to hitting the button and pulling a switch every time I raise the planter up, or I stop. Seems to be doing a good job though. One thing we noticed, we're running such a low pressure, those splitters that are supposed to split into both sides of the row, they don't seem to be doing their job. It's all going on one side, so I'm gonna look into today getting smaller orifices so that we can run a higher pressure, run like 20 pounds or 30 pounds, 25 pounds maybe. And then that should get those things going again. So that the fertilizer is going on both sides of the row. And we're doing a better job then. So here we go, planter's down, roll take off, turn on mapping, pull this, press and hold that for 3 seconds, and then everything's going. It's hard to see, can't really see those green lights in the daytime, but that's fine. It was kind of there for more of a nighttime measure. I can tell when that side's on, the pressure goes up, but I'm literally only running 2.5 hash marks up on that side, so I can't see if it's actually pumping or not. So hopefully it is. I'll know at the end of the field if I'm out of fertilizer or not. Then I'll know if it was actually working. Alright, here's a rundown. I've been working pretty hard here. Got 11 acres done, and the fertilizer came out to like 13 gallons to the acre average there. I made an adjustment partway through, and so it averaged across the field about 13. Made another adjustment after we finished that field, and now I'm 8 acres into this 15, and I think it's a lot closer because I was full when I started, or pretty much full, and I'm getting maybe halfway. So I'm gonna go through and do a calculation once I fill with seed and let the tank settle out and see how close I am, if I gotta fine tune it a little more. But so far so good. Placement's good with seed. Seed's going where it needs to. No problems getting our desired depth. With no-till situation, sometimes you can struggle, but no struggle here. Running with one pressure gauge on one side, and when I want to make an adjustment, I actually move over to the other side and make that adjustment with that one, because the other one quit working, and the other one doesn't read precise enough for me to make adjustments with it. So anyway, I'm gonna keep on going, and I think I'm gonna finish this Dad might take over after I'm done here, and I'm gonna go spray, I think. I got some custom corn ground to cover. I'll check that bean ground too, that's custom. And then I gotta go get some dual, and then we're gonna run dual in the tank, spraying the fields that were organic, just to help keep the weeds suppressed a little more. So I just checked my fertilizer calibration, and I was at like 24.8 gallons to the acre, so I am dialed in enough to finish today. And then when I get my second pressure gauge, I'll just turn it up like, I don't know, a PSI maybe, and then it'll get us above 25. So it's not worth the time going through switching the gauges and everything just to dial it up a little bit. When I only have 6, 7 acres left, and I'll probably run the planter out in the other field and then call it good tonight. But I got a prep for spraying. Probably won't spray anything today. We keep getting some gusts, and I don't really want to kill something that doesn't need to be killed. So for now, we'll just plant. We'll be 30 acres done by the end of the day today, and that'll put us less than 100 acres left for 2024. And then planting season's over. Can you believe it? Flies by. First and second day, it feels like it's going to take forever, but after that, it starts flying by. These 15 acres are done now. Planter's pretty much out of fertilizer, so I'm going to go through, check my numbers again. Pretty sure we're sitting pretty good though, because I didn't overfill very much that time around. Yep. Probably book it right over to the other field. Don't really want to fill up now. There's only about 200 gallons in the tender, but I'd rather have all the weight on the tender going down the road than on the planter. Just feel a little better about it. Anyway, come pack up and move on. First 25 acres of corn 2024 is done. If you count the 4 acres in the intercrop plot, then we're at 30 pretty much. Well, my camera died yesterday. I got 22 acres into the next field, ran out of fertilizer, and was just about out of seed. Dad just left about an hour ago to continue on with that. He was taking fertilizer and everything out there. We're gonna end up being about 1,500 gallons short on 28, so our local supplier is getting a batch mixed up for us, because ours is actually 2600-6% sulfur. So they're getting something mixed up for us. In the meantime, I am going out spraying. I've got about 200 acres to cover today. Right now we got Roundup, Liberty, and Dual loaded up. We're gonna go out, spray that last field of soybeans that we planted, and then I got a few more acres of soybeans after that. And then we switch over to corn and start laying our pre's on corn, and then also my custom corn down the road here. So just gonna get started. I guess I should take him with me, because he's been nothing but a brat all day, barking and barking. Alright, just got back from the first load. So here's our list for today, what we're doing. Plus there's going to be 2 more loads that are custom. I don't have those on here. Load 1 was a cover crop termination that we are going to wait on until Dad plants. So that's just there. But load 2 is what we just ran out, 55 acres. Next load is 28 acres. Same deal, Roundup, Liberty, Dual. And then after that, we have one more load of that's just Roundup and Liberty. And then after that, we start into corn. So it's glyphosate, atrazine, and caprino. So that's what we're spraying on the corn for our main herbicide. Caprino by Bayer. Use rate 4 ounces to the acre, so that's why it comes in little baby jugs. And then atrazine and Roundup, which are both 1 quart to the acre. And obviously AMS for as required. So I'm gonna get my AMS dumped in, get all mixed up, run out another load. Fun day, fun. Check my water. think there's enough for the load I'm running. Alright, that's the last load of glyphosate Liberty loaded up in the sprayer. You can tell the stuff along the wall is dwindling. We got 2 loads along the wall, 1 load on the pallet. We'll see, this last one relies on Dad being able to finish the field he's in. He's planting corn right now, so if he can't get that done, then that doesn't get done today. But for the rest of it, these other 2 loads are guaranteed. And this next one we are using 28 as a carrier. It's the first field we planted. We came up about 40% short on our nitrogen going on the planter, so I'm making up for that by just spraying it on with our herbicide and saving a extra side dress trip to make up for that nitrogen. We've got our tender sitting here. It's got about 400 gallons of 28 in it. I just pumped off that 400 gallons. Stinking things and gnats are all over the place. From the other tender that we got from our local mill that we get our that we're getting the 28 from to finish up. I'm gonna see if our rep can run it back right away in the morning and have them fill it up again, because we need another load to finish tomorrow. We have 38 acres left once Dad finishes the field he's in, and she's got about 10 acres left in that field. So planting will be done tomorrow. Spraying, my custom guy, he was waiting on fertilizer, so I'm gonna try and get his spraying done tomorrow after he gets done planting. And then I gotta get the rest of our stuff sprayed, which is that 38 acres plus 23 plus 58. So easy morning job, but yeah, it's gotta be planted though. The 38, one field, which is 18 acres, that's our regular program. The other 2 are cover crop acres, and that is just going to be Roundup and Enlist to terminate the cover crop. But anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.